Hello, 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 hello. Welcome back to Southern Grace and Sass. Today's gonna be a very special episode. But before I dive into all that, I want you, if you're new here, hit that like button, ring that bell for notifications. Also, please subscribe. And yes, I have managed to finally get my little short hair a cute little bun. Although it looks more like a croissant now. I think we're gonna go with it. Anyway, um, I hope all is well. I hope y'all having a great time. And I hope you know that life is amazing no matter what you do, right? Um, there is a few things that you're probably wondering. Why am I titling this episode The Waiting After God Closes the Door? I also am going to go ahead and clarify this is a pre recorded episode, so you'll see different locations because I am in the process of moving back home, so please bear with me, okay? But today, there is a wonderful. There is I thought I'd start off our fun or as always, let's talk about some TikToks that I have recently came across, shall we?
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. And right now, you can save £50 per person. That's £200 off for a family of four.
Okay, you can't convince me otherwise that wasn't planned. And here are some things. Here's the thing. If I were the parent in that situation, I don't know if I would be mad at the dog or what. But here's the thing, I'm only an aunt. And there has been several times where my best friend has had to look at me when my goddaughter would say something and be like, don't you dare laugh, because if you laugh, I'm laughing. Um, yeah. But come on. The fact that that dog knew what he was doing, he was tripping that baby up for a reason. Let's not even pretend that dog was not just being a dog. He knew what he was doing. He was being calculated and smart. Can I keep a straight face? Probably not. Will I cause some emotional damage? More likely, I probably will. 'Cause here's the thing, I'm also naturally clumsy, and my future pet is gonna notice, so that's gonna be a thing. I also have said though that if I ever get a dog, I'm getting that is gonna be he's gonna be an ESA, but I'm also gonna have to get him an ESA as well because I'm a lot to handle. Let's move on to our next TikTok, okay?
Good morning, Chiefs fans. I just saw a video that said every time Harrison Butler misses a field goal, a college girl earns her degree. I hate that guy.
Look, I said it before and I'll say it again. The Chiefs are vastly overrated. Now, am I happy they're out of the playoffs? Yeah. Who wouldn't be? Cause for one, they're vastly overrated. Two, I love the Eagles. What can I say? I chose my team. I picked my team, and I'm a fan for life. That's just who I am. I'm also now my college football team is Auburn, but that's beside the point. But here's the thing: when I heard Harrison's speech to begin with, um, I just wanted to go to that screen and just punch him. Have you ever just wanted to do that? Like when you hear someone speak, like you don't know the person, but you just really want to go to the screen and punch them. I have a few people I looked at in person too as well, but that's beside the point. Um, that is beside the point on that one. But anyway, no, it's just like the fact that every girl gets a degree. I'm like, hell yeah. I love this especially. But here's the thing: you're entitled to believe what you want to believe at the end of the day. However, I am a full believer that women are independent and they can do whatever they want. At the end of the day, if they want a college degree, let them have that degree. Some women are not meant to be homemakers, and honestly, at the end of the day, that's alright. If it's not what you believe, scooch. But the fact that, how was no one like, so he gave this speech to begin with, and I'm like, did anybody not proofread your speech? Because I know most universities will make you submit a speech so they can review what you're going to have to say. But no, I guess no one did that for him. I guess he thought he had special privileges or whatever. Or I wonder if it was one of those situations where he literally like he submitted a speech and went back and added his own beliefs. Maybe. You never know. But I guess you keep missing field goals and I'm gonna keep and women are out there gonna keep getting degrees, Harrison. Now let's move on to our next TikTok. And this one has me dying laughing, even though I shouldn't be laughing. Let's face it. I know I'm going to hell some of these things I laugh about. But I have a dark sense of humor too, but the fact come on. Even the guy's face at the end said it all. So you can imagine there was probably a wife in the window or a girlfriend or whatever saying, I told him not to do that. And this literally falls into the definition of mess around and find out. We can't say what we want to say. We're not saying the other words around here, but doesn't this fall in that definition? You messed around, you found out your actions, or for the internet to laugh at, but I'm pretty sure you had a massive concussion when that was over with. Would you do it again, probably? More than likely, he's probably thinking, how am I going to top this? More than likely. Men are very obvious when it comes to stuff like this. Like, they literally think that hey, let's go do something stupid. They get injured and they're like, ooh, let's still do something stupid again. Like, man, just just curious. What goes through your mindset when it comes to doing stupid stuff and you finally learn your lesson? Or do you ever learn a lesson at all? Because I don't think you do. And you just like the fact that you do it just because your wife or girlfriend or whatever literally just said, I told you not to do it. And you're just like, uh-huh, and then you get upset and butthurt about it. Is that true? You can't, don't lie to me because I already know that answer. But anyway, now moving on to our last TikTok, and this one, I don't care if it's AI or not. This one has me laughing on this one.
Mommy, you hear that? It's like a lawnmower. I know it. You married that, so don't talk about my life decision when I'm bigger.
Look, the fact that I do not care if this one was AI or not, but that little girl has a point. And the mom is probably thinking in her head, she's right. I can't talk about her life decision when she's older. Because that little girl, suppose if this was real, that little girl is probably gonna be like, "You married my dad, who snores like a lawnmower." Oh my gosh! Like I said, I don't care if that's real or not, if that's AI or not. That's just hilarious. And I should do a segment on here now where it's like AI or not AI. I should just for the fun of it. Actually, I think I might do it just because it is my podcast after all. But with that being said, let me recompose my laughter. Um, and let's talk about the waiting after God closes the door. Now here's the thing. This topic came to me a while back, and I've been waiting to talk about this because I had episodes lined up like the holiday specials I've been doing. And there is a song, by Jordana Bryant called When God Closes Doors. And never have I resonated with a song so much in my life. Just never. And I know somebody's out there probably thinking, maybe you shouldn't relate to me so much, yeah, yeah, yeah. But how many times have we all had that feeling when it was just like, you didn't know what to do, the door was closed, you found every reason just to get out. And as hard as it is at the end of the day, we have to keep going. And like some of the lyrics say, I will pull them up for y'all. But yeah. But no, I love this song. And I listen to it every chance I get, because especially because I'm going through it right now at this very moment of this recording. And I'll be honest with y'all, I moved to Tennessee 2 years ago. I wanted a paralegal job, and but after that, and or something. But here's the thing. I feel like there were signs that God was showing me signs that the door's closing, and I was just too blind to see it, if I'm being honest. And how many times have we all done that? Like, we're just kicking ourselves. But then, like, once we accept that God closes that door, we move on to, um, things. And I know it's hard because, especially when He closes a door that He opened for us to begin with, and it just sucks, if I am being honest with y'all. It really does. But you move on. I mean, you grow. But here are some lyrics that really stand out to me. Here's the lyrics to the songs. The first verse goes, I really thought it was meant to be. Kinda feel stupid now. Look how it turned out. I guess this one wasn't meant for me. There's no use pretending I don't have all the questions. Like, why's it gotta go this way? How long it's gonna take? I try to fight him, but at the end of the day, when God closes doors, I can't pry 'em open. And I might not be knocking if I saw the other side. Yes, this ain't the one, but this ain't where the road ends. He's somewhere waiting for me on a light. And yeah, it hurts when I see him slamming. Nothing works out like I planned it. He's just saying, right key, wrong porch. I love that. And here's the thing. I actually might use that part as the title for this one. Right key, wrong porch. I don't know yet. But I actually do like that title. But tell me, does that not resonate with you so much, honestly? But she also goes on to sing. Sometimes a blessing shows up in disguise, letting go of one thing, taking hold of something else. Wish I could have a bird's eye view, so I didn't. I would have turned into if all the prayers would have come true. Um, and I wish back then I knew that. And it goes on to repeat the chorus. And I love this one line in the chorus where it goes, and I might not be knocking if I saw the other side. It sucks. It really does suck that we have to do that. But this is part of life. We plan so much and everything. And it goes on to the third verse where she says, even though I can't see him planning, every time I see one door slamming, I'm closer to what I'm looking for. And when God closes, and it's and I just love that last line of I just love the line the chorus goes, right key, wrong porch. I'm gonna start using that as my motto when God closes the door on me. And I really think so, because I think it's just like it moves you, and I do recommend going to listen to the song if you haven't already listened to it. Amazing. Um, but there's also another song I want to talk about real quick. And it's called Desert Road by Casting Crown, and I saw Casting Crowns in concert one year, and they were so amazing, so good. Even Matthew West came out. Yes, I know. I'm full of surprise. Like I said, this podcast is all about being human, talking about God and everything else. After all, I'm combining my two favorite things, being sassy and southern. But the song starts off with, I don't want to write this song. I don't want this pain to be my story. I don't want this desert road. Are you sure this is the plan you have for me? Out here in the dust and clay, God, there's a bigger picture, it's getting harder to see. But I know that you won't leave me. That's important right there. Like the fact that he knows that God isn't gonna leave him. And how many times do we feel like that, honestly? Like we've been through so much, and a lot of us feel like God is gonna leave us if we just screw up. And here's the thing. There's a song by Danny Goki. I'm getting off topic. But anyway, it's called Haven't Seen It Yet. There's a lyric that sticks out to me. There's a hand holding me even when I don't deserve it. Even when I don't see it. But yeah, let's get right to the song though. Um, The chorus goes, I don't know where this is going, but I know who holds my hand. But it's not the path I would have chosen, but I'll follow you till the end. Lord, as long as I'm breathing, I will make your glory known, even if it means I'm walking on this desert road. And I feel like these last 2 years have been like a desert road, honestly, at the same time. Like, God has closed his door on me, but I went through a grieving process. I'm okay with that, if I'm being honest. Oh my gosh, I'm getting emotional now. It still is emotional, don't get me wrong. But the second verse goes, you got my attention now. I was doing the talking, but now I'm listening. This is where my hope is found, knowing life is hard, but you're still with me. And I'm not out here on my own. You're close to the brokenhearted, because you already walked this road, and you're gonna finish what you started. But, my gosh, amazing song. I do recommend going to listen to it. But then there's the third verse that goes, where you lead, I will follow. As you lift my hand, I see. Where you lead, I will follow. So many desperate souls and all. I'll walk them as you've walked me. You're the living water to my thirsty. I love that, honestly. I really do. Um, but then, but yeah, look, this hits. It really does. And nobody ever really talks about it. Like, you can go your whole life planning something, but it's just not going to work out that way. And then there's the stages of grief where it's just like, God closed this, God is closing this door that He opened for me, and I don't know what to do about the situation. Like, do I still have faith in Him? Do I still trust Him? And I think that's okay, because we've all been through that, but God is still holding our hand no matter what. And He's closing a door that He sees something on the other end that we don't see, and yet we're still trying to pry that door open. I know it sounds silly. I do. But I just think that there's a wait period. Um, there's a waiting period after when God closes the door. We just have to be patient, honestly. And I thought I'd talk about some stages of grief. There's the shock and denial. This is the initial stage that I think a lot of us get stuck in. Where we're still in shock, we're still in denial, we're still trying to chase this dream. Chase something that God has closed the door on that we are too blind to fully see. Um, and it takes a lot for us to realize that. Um, there's the anger you feel. Now, I'll be honest with you, younger me would have been so angry at God when I was younger. So angry. But I'm not younger. I'm approaching my 30s for crying out loud, and I think there's anger. And yes, I'm angry, but I'm more angry at myself for being too blind to see um the signs that God was showing me. And you move on to this phase called bargaining, and this is where you attempt to negotiate with him, saying, God, if you give me this job, I will start doing this and that. Yeah. Then that depression sets in, and here's the thing. I have struggled with anxiety and depression since I was a teenager, basically. And it sucks, especially when you have both. But when that depression sets in, you just know. Then we're gonna move on to acceptance. You accept it. You start to know. You start trying to find the what next. Okay. Um, what do I do now? That this door has closed on me. Now that God has closed this door on me. It's easy to get lost. Let's just know that. But here are some things to remember from a spiritual perspective. Um, what we turn to God. We trust in Him. Like Part of my prayers every night is that I go, God, I trust you, no matter what you have, no matter how much this life gets from me. And I know that you have my best interests at heart. And and you have this plan for me, and I'm not going to question every minute of it. We also, patience and trust. Um, as silly as it may sound to some people, we have to have patience and we have to trust him, especially when you're not really a patient person. I know that for a fact. Just ask how many people I've had to train at work that there's a reason I don't train at work to begin with. Let's just clarify that to begin. But anyway, um, but yeah, um, but no, patience is one of the hardest things. You have to have hope and trust in him. Honestly, you have to find hope. Like it's hard. Hope is hard when you've been discouraged so many times that you just gotta find a way to keep going. Honestly, what are some things that we can consider? It's not linear. There are stages of grief that don't always happen in strict, and we take our own grieving time. We really do. We also seek support. In everything. What are some key aspects that we can remember? Look at. I can't talk now. I'm getting too emotional. I gotta get my emotions back intact. One thing I'm able to compartmentalize for the most part. I do like that about. I love that about me. But let's look at this as a sign of redirection, not rejection. Maybe let's take this time to see where our stars align. Like, where is God leading me to right now? It requires trust and patience. Um, it can also be a time to prepare ourselves, and a chance to praise God. Like, we praise Him in our highest and we praise Him in our lowest every time. Um, can also be seen as a way to move forward, and also as a protective measure as well. Um, here are some actions that we can start by taking. We can trust, we can have faith. We can see this closed door as a redirection of something better, not denial. We Let's be honest. Would we really want to be opening that door if we really saw what was on the other side? Would we really want to? Like, the older I get, the more I'm like, okay, God, I trust you. There's a reason that you closed this door on me that you opened, and I'm gonna trust whatever that plan is you have for me. Um, then it's easy to don't get stuck. It's easy to get stuck in that, and we really it's let's you can move on. You can start little by little things. You can start by trying to see what's out there for you. You can pray for guidance for crying out loud. Then there's this. You can seek spiritual community. Maybe this is a time to reconnect with your faith or trust God to find relationship with God. To find a relationship with God during this time. You can continue practicing. Keep reading your Bible and continue your discipline, spiritual disciplines. You can look for a quote window, like say a path is blocked, God is opening another, and this could be another way to achieve your goals or a new opportunity that you couldn't see before. Here's some things to remember. The door closed for a reason. It's not just closing because it, it didn't want you. It did. It's not. But also remember that God is faithful. He really is. He knows you. He made you in the way you were made, and had this future planned out for you. We just gotta trust him. His help is coming. Even when we don't feel like his help is coming, his hand is always there help leading the way for us. And our future isn't lost. Sometimes it's just a different future than we can imagine from what God had for us. But I'm getting emotional thinking about all this. But let's also go that let's maintain our relationships. Cause those are important. Let's seek community, stay in our word, keep our faith strong. because those are important at the end of the day. Um, Trust and prayer is really good in this type of situation. We've got to trust God's plan. Even if we don't fully, fully understand it, we've got to trust in Him. We got to pray for guidance and be patient. I know it seems hard, but we've got this. God has us. Now, let's try about finding the what next. Stop knocking for crying out loud. How many of us are still knocking on a situation that we need to really quit knocking on? Let's not continue to try and force our way through a door that has been closed. Maybe maybe take this time to shift your focus. Instead of fixating on the closed door, focus on the path ahead of you and trust that God is opening another one. Surrender your own plan. Maybe you just maybe you just weren't meant to be in that situation or be in that career field that you wanted. And that's okay. You just got to find, it's just God's timing is always right. And He puts you in that place when the time is right. He can also take you out of that place when He feels like the time has gone completely wrong. And at the end of the day. But, there's also, but I thought I end this by talking about saying some Bible verses for y'all. And that is Revelation 3:7-8, where these are the words of him who is holy and true, who holds the key to David. What he opens, he cannot shut, and what no one can open. Um, he also Paul and his companions were blocked from going to, and this is Acts 16:6-10, where Paul and his companions were blocked from going to Asia, but instead led to Macedonia by a vision, indicating that God directs his believers to a new path when one is closed. Then our last Bible verse. Um, I can see your deeds, so see, I have a place for you before that no one can shut. And I think this is important. That was Revelation 3:8, by the way. But yeah, but just if you're going through this identity crisis, this waiting period, it's okay. I'm going through the same thing at this very moment. You're not alone in the situation. And God's going to open a door for you that you didn't even realize was an option. There's some sort of window that He has for you. You just got to be patient. But y'all have a great day, and I'll see y'all next time.